Nice.
You did great.
Extended time, I think you meant.
Thank you, Mickey. Here are a couple more of people's thoughts about the winter. Nothing is as easy as to make a promise this winter to do something next summer. This is how commencement speakers are caught. Victor Hugo said, "Laughter is the sun that drives the winter from the human face." I like that one too. And then this is from the artist Andrew Wyeth. "I prefer winter and fall when you feel the bone structure of the landscape, the loneliness of it, the dead feeling of the winter. Something waits beneath it. The whole story doesn't show." So that's very true. If you look outside, you can see the structure of everything because all of the leaves are down and there's something underneath it all. Now, we are going to go to the speech evaluation. The speech evaluation is going to be done by Pete. Pete had to say, I'm pretty sure Pete said something. Yes. Pete's comment about the winter is, "Winter? Bah, humbug."
I'd like to keep it short. First of all, Bob, what was the time for Rich's speech?
Okay, sure. It was 7:05, so slightly, actually under.
So slightly under. So Rich's goal, objectives, were to have a simple story with a moral. And I think he did a terrific job at doing that. Talking about success and what it takes to be successful. This is a very timely topic. As we listen to Miles the mouse and Inches the snail, to them, success was all about stuff. What kind of stuff could you accumulate? And I think we all know that it's a lot more than that. I think it's interesting that it took John Wooden to bring us back to reality, because John Wooden is not known for this. Well, he's known for success, but he's not known for storytelling, he's not known for children's stories, he's known for basketball. You didn't mention it, but he was the coach of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bill Walton, and the UCLA basketball team. And when I was growing up, that was a huge deal. As you said, they won, 88 straight games. I mean, that's pretty darn amazing. But I didn't realize John Wooden would be the one to tell me these simple stories about success. So it took, and I know there were others as well, you just did 3, but it took Andy the ant and Rosie the robin and Skittles the squirrel to bring us back to reality as to what success is all about. When you think about today, I'll give you sort of the classic example. The college scandal where everybody spent tons of money so their kids could get into the best colleges. Really, it's getting the best bauble for your family and spending, it was all about getting stuff. But we all know success is a lot more than that, and that's the story that Rich told. The examples that they gave, Andy the ant, and Rosie the robin, and Skittles the squirrel, showed us that success is different to different people. It's planning your work, working your plan, joy and enthusiasm, action, that sort of thing. I thought you told the story very well. You drew the audience in. I looked around. I was totally entertained. I looked around, and everybody was very interested and very entertained. I liked the mixture of storytelling, and you read some passages, but you had mentioned to me before you were going to do that. And I thought that was terrific because Number one, you told the story yourself and you turned it into your story. It would have been easy to just come up and read something, and you didn't do that. You came up and you turned it into Richard McDonough's story. But you also read passages because you wanted to get the specific wording right, and the passages you read were ones where if you had sort of winged it and changed the wording, they would have lost a lot. So reading those passages I thought was the right thing to do. I thought it was a terrific speech. The only suggestions I had were two. One is a little more vocal variety. So for example, each of them were animals. Maybe you could have done something to try to change your voice for each kind of animal. Not to say you should try to be a squirrel or whatever, but something to change your voice so that we would all know you were focused on that character at that time. And the other thing is you spent most of your time behind the podium. I think you could have come out and engaged the audience a little more. And I know you're reading some of it, but there was a long point where you weren't. So that you could have come in front of the podium more and engaged the audience a little more on that front. But overall, I thought it was a terrific job, and congratulations.
Thank you, Pete. Let me read just one or two more. The playwright Anton Chekhov said, "People don't notice whether it's winter or summer when they are happy."
Not true.
Now, I've never done the extended kind of
People will raise their hands.
evaluation. So is that how you do it? So does anybody want to add to the evaluation of the speech? Just raise your hand. Don't all do it at one time. Our president.
Rich, I have an inch of a suggestion.
Sure.
It's a small suggestion. It was confusing when you said Inch is the snail. Is it the snail is named Inches, or Inch is the snail? And you did that a couple of...
Oh, okay, the snail is named Inches, yeah.
Right, and it was confusing because when you held up the book, it said the word inch, not the word inches.
Oh.
I was also confused when you held up the book in the beginning because what you were saying didn't match the visual. So I would have held the book down until you said your piece, and then you could say inch and miles. Here's inch, and here's miles. I think, but these are minor. I think overall I would agree with the evaluation that if you could use your vocal variety, little and, said you get, right, and to give a little bit of character, particularly because it had kind of a children's book feel to it.
Right.
So, but well done.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought what was most fascinating about it is this basketball coach would use these metaphors to come up with success. And I thought that you picked up on that. I thought that was extremely well done. I also thought your delivery was very good. You started rocking at one point. I don't know why. You didn't need that. But overall, I thought your presentation has come a long way. I thought you did rely on a few notes, which I thought were unnecessary because mostly they were names that you probably knew anyway. But my biggest question of all is, you said the ants had lunch. I wondered what the ants ate.
Everyone else's lunch.
Right. Oh, good. Good.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
It was very good, Rich. I thought it would be good to point out a little bit of irony in that this author was a famous and very successful basketball coach who won all sorts of trophies. And yet, he rejected trophies as a measure of
That's interesting.
of
Yeah, that's
success.
that's a great point, yeah. Great point.
Okay, anyone else before we move on? All right, so we are now going to have the grammarian report from Dale. That can be done from your seat, and you will explain about our fluency and such.